Good morning all of you. Last class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು our environment chapter ಅಲ್ಲಿ first one is contents ಏನಂತ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿದ್ವಿ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ introduction of environment ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿದ್ವಿ. Environment introduction ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ecosystem definition with examples of ecosystem ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿದ್ವಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ components of ecosystem ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ components of ecosystem. First now ecosystem is classified into two ways. First one is ecosystem is classified into two ways. First one is abiotic. First one is abiotic. Second one is biotic. Second one is biotic. And then next biotic is classified into three ways. Biotic components are divided into three ways. First one is producers. Second one is consumers. Third one is decomposers. ಈ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಅಗೇನ್ 3 ವೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್ ನ ನಾವು ಅಗೇನ್ 4 ವೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಎಷ್ಟು ವೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ? 4 ವೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ herbivores. First one is herbivores. Second one is carnivores. Second one is carnivores. Third one is omnivores. Third one is omnivores. Fourth one is parasites. Fourth one is parasites. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ 4 ವೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ there are two components of ecosystem. First one is abiotic, second one is biotic. First one is abiotic, second one is biotic. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ abiotic components ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? abiotic components ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? all non-living things are called as abiotic components. All non-living things are called as abiotic components. For example soil. For example, first one is soil, second one is water, third one is wind, and etc. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ abiotic components means all non-living things are called as abiotic components. First one example ಯಾವುದು? soil, water and then wind. These are all the abiotic components examples. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಈ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು abiotic components ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿದ್ವಿ. This slide we learn about the biotic components. What is the meaning of biotic components? All living organisms are called biotic components. All living organisms are called as biotic components. For example, first one is plants and the second one is animals. First one is plants, second one is animals. All living organisms are called as biotic components. Example, first one is plants, second one is animals. Biotic components are divided into or classified into three groups. Biotic components are divided into three groups. First one is producers. Second one is consumers. Third one is decomposers. First one, producers. Producers means the organism synthesis their own food. Is called as producers. For example, all plants. Second one is fungi. Next, second one is decomposers. Decomposers are breakdown of complex organic substances into simpler substances. Decomposers are breakdown of complex organic substances into simpler substances. This breakdown complex substances are mixed up into the soil. For example, bacteria. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅದರ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವು? ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್, ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್, ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸರ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಆರ್ಗನಿಸಮ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಸಿಂಥೆಸಿಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಫುಡ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ all plants and fungi. Next, decomposers means breakdown of complex organic substances into simpler organic substances. For example, bacteria. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸರ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ವಿ. ಈಗ Third one is consumers. Third one is consumers. All animals which are directly or indirectly depends on producers. All animals which are directly or indirectly depends on producers are called as consumers. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? Consumers ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. For example, consumers are four groups. Consumers are classified into mainly four groups. First one is herbivores, second one is carnivores, third one is omnivores, fourth one is parasites. Fourth one is parasites. First herbivores ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Herbivores, they eat only plants. They eat only plants or they depends on only plants. For example, cow, goat, sheep, deer. Cow, goat, sheep, deer. Second one is carnivores. They eat only flesh or meat. They eat only flesh or meat or they depends on only flesh or meat. Next, for example, the word lions, tigers, lion and then tiger and then etc. Next, omnivores. Omnivores eat both plants and meat. Plants and meat. Omnivores are they eat both plants and meat. For example, humans. For example, humans. Next one is parasites. Fourth one is parasites. Parasites, they live inside the other organism. They live inside the other organisms for the purpose of food. For the purpose of food. For example is lions. For example is lions. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮರ್ಸ್ ನ 4 ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ herbivores, carnivores, omnivores and parasites. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ನಾವು ಇಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ abiotic components, second one is biotic components. Biotic components are classified into majorly three ways: producers, consumers and then decomposers. ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ನಾವು components of ecosystem ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ.